Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Justice Friends blogs on our big E3 special and our 1 year anniversary. And guys, we've covered the big three. We've covered Nintendo, covered Sony, covered Microsoft. But as we've learned throughout the years, there's way more to the game industry than just those three guys. And this is the podcast about everything else. Welcome to the Third Party Games, my dear boys and girls. Joining me today are...
Hello, my name is Andre the Walrus, and I am a marine mammal.
I would...
And I'm Ryan, and I'm not.
It's not. Well, guys, I think
Ryan,
we should
that's
jump
why
right
our
into
relationship
this.
never works out. You refuse to uncover your walrusness, which is why I'm the only male walrus who is also an American in existence.
You're not American, good
Hey, I
sir.
have
You're a
nothing
terrorist,
against your
Nazi,
kind.
zombie, communist. But beyond that, guys, I think we should just jump right into it. There are multiple games that were announced at this season. Not announced, but shown at this year's E3. Most of them look wonderful. So let's just jump right in. I think I'll start with a game that I think we're all excited for.
Before we talk about that, I just want to, real quick, let's go to Duke Nukem Forever real quick, because a few minutes before we started recording this, we saw the review for Duke Nukem, and from what everyone's saying, the game is sucked monkey balls in more ways than one. So Duke Nukem sucked. I just want to get that out of the way. Okay,
Monkey balls of steel.
Andre is very good at not letting others decide his opinion.
Exactly.
He's very good at that. But beyond that, so I guess we should start out here. Batman Arkham City. Here's this game.
Oh my god, I want that game so bad.
We should all establish a level of excitement by how many wheels we want to give for each game. So this game is out of 5. It gets 4 wheels out of 5. I am stoked for this game. Of course, the sequel to Batman Arkham Asylum. This game appears to be much larger in scope.
Arkham Asylum,
Much larger in...
We don't need to tell anyone that Arkham Asylum was a great game. And...
We don't. But we do want to establish what this is in case people have not seen it. Basically, it's Batman Arkham Asylum. In a lot of ways, it's not the same, of course, they're updating. But now the big change is the setting is no longer Arkham Asylum on the island. It's Arkham City, which is this project that was started in Gotham where they basically take a slum and they put all the criminals in there and say, you guys have your own city. Which, of course, is surely going to go well. No problems would arise there. Surely not. Well, of course they do. And Batman appears to save the day. This one is much more open world. Much less linear than Batman Arkham Asylum, which if that was the one complaint I would have, it'd be a little bit too linear at times. But
not so much, because you had the Riddler stuff, which
I mean, but that was entirely optional. I mean, but it was still on a small thing, like here's one sector, here's one sector, here's one sector. Explore these small rooms. This one, like, no, it's an open world. This is you can go anywhere and do anything, and there are random events in the city. There's many different things. I've just seen from a little bit Batman, they've updated the gliding mechanics with Batman's cape. In this one, it's much more freedom. Basically, Batman can sort of glide, and in addition to his grappling hook, he can sort of do like a combo thing of keeping himself flying around the city, which looks very, very cool. If anyone's plays Just Cause 2, it looks very similar to that. Maybe if a little bit more, I hate to say realistic because it's a Batman game, but it does, and I am super stoked.
Are you saying Batman is
returning
real?
a lot? I'm saying Batman. Oh, Batman's very real. Batman's very real.
That's better.
Especially the clowns. They are truly satanic in every form of media.
exactly.
But
See,
just some characters, I
relate.
guess, if you guys want to hear.
The
Joker,
main thing,
of course, will make a return. Except
no, but the main villain,
Two-Face.
if I remember, the main villain of Arkham City is going to be a Penguin, if I remember correctly. Not the main villain Penguin. I mean, the main villains are going to be the different characters. Like we're going to have Two-Face, we're going to have the Penguin.
There will be much more variety in this, and it'll be more like there are actually warring factions against each other. So you can actually play the Joker's henchmen against the Penguin's henchmen. You can do interactions like that. The few they've released. Sorry, Andre. It's Two-Face, Penguin, Joker, or really more Harley Quinn working for the Joker, a few other people.
And one thing that they added to Arkham City, which I loved for a different reason, is Catwoman becoming a playable character and having her own story separated from Batman.
Well,
let's say you're tired of Batman's story. You go to a certain location and you change to Catwoman and you start playing with her. And let's all remember, Catwoman is hot. Almost as hot as Poison Ivy.
Well, yeah.
That's another story. That's fan fictions.
No, but they say that the ratio of Batman to Catwoman is about it's like Batman featuring special guest Catwoman, where it's be like they say it's gonna be like 10% Catwoman, 90% Batman.
No, yeah, but but that is true. Catwoman's story is short, but it's a good change of pace.
And it's not. I mean, and Andre, I mean, just from the way you made it sound to me, it sounded like it's two separate storylines. It's not. They intertwine, and at certain
they intertwine, but it takes out the linearness of that you complained from Arkham Asylum. Instead of doing the same things with Batman, you can go to Catwoman, do a couple of different things within the same story.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, and I'm just saying it looks great. Coming out later? Is it coming out later this year or early 2012?
If I remember correctly, November. It comes out November.
November this year. November is the month of like everything this year.
Yeah.
November, like 15 games are coming out.
Yeah, seriously, and I can tell you one game that's going to take up all the time during that month. Anyways, next one, I don't know if you guys have seen this. It got really popular for its trailer, and it actually looks good just as the game, surprisingly enough. Dead Island. Have either of you heard of this?
I saw its trailer.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen anything on it.
I saw the trailer, and then I saw the gameplay. The gameplay doesn't look anything like what the trailer was telling me. Like, the trailer told me it was going to be like a horror game. The trailer sort of reminded me, it was sort of reminiscent of Silent Hill. As in, it was a horror thing. It made you afraid.
Well, no, I mean, it was pretty, I mean, in a weird way, I mean, it was pretty far removed from Silent Hill. Silent Hill's a lot more, ooh, what's that bump in the corner? This one's like, no, there are zombies everywhere. You're going to get those.
It also reminded me a little bit of Left 4 Dead, with a lot of people there, weapons.
That's the biggest comparison I can make with this game. I understand that what I would think, Andre, is it's an open world Left 4 Dead, which is something that I would definitely not deny. I mean, if someone came up with this kid, here's an open world Left 4 Dead, I would not say, oh, no, I don't want that. I would gladly accept open world Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
They say they plan for it to. They say there's a plan to have a mixture of, and this was not the developers themselves saying this, but it plays as a mixture of Left 4 Dead and Borderlands. There is 4-player co-op throughout the entire game, 4-player co-op, and I think it's either 4 or it's either like two numbers in my mind. I can't decide which one. It's either 4 or 16. So there's a pretty big jump between the two, but I think it's 4. If it's 16, that'd be awesome. But anyways, and you each choose your own specific class, own specific type of character, which is sort of the Borderlands, and there's a lot of crafting, a lot of different weapons you can find and pick up. You can make makeshift weapons. So it has the sort of variety of weapons of Borderlands, but like the zombie killing action of Left 4 Dead, which I think sounds awesome.
Now that we talked about let's talk about a game here that I think, out of everyone, I think me and Ryan are probably the more excited for. Assassin's Creed Revelations.
So much sex.
That game's going to be
Thousands
amazing.
of views.
I just gave it 6 out of 5, by the way.
Ryan, I would like you to start off talking about Revelations, since you seem to be the most stoked about it?
Well, I actually haven't seen that much about it. I've seen a few videos, and the most of the stuff that they actually revealed was pertaining to the story and how like they said that you would be able. I think they said something kind of Inception-y, like Desmond would take control of Ezio, who was gonna take control of Altair. And this big chain. All I know is you get to go back to Mali, which I'm
jump at certain
so
points.
stoked for.
Yeah,
we're all gonna have to like fall at the same time.
In terms of the multiplayer, which by the way, the Brotherhood multiplayer I feel is horribly underrated. It's a great multiplayer.
The only problem is the servers. The servers of the Brotherhood multiplayer are atrocious.
They can be. Yeah.
Well, it's just I agree with that. We're spoiled by Call of Duty because Call of Duty has so many players constantly playing. With a game that doesn't have so many players, you have to wait a lot longer.
Yeah.
But,
hopefully they'll sort of refine the whole issues with the control, dealing with stuff like smoke bombs and stunning, but the multiplayer seems to have the same concept and what.
Have you seen one? They say they want to tie more story into
the multiplayer.
The multiplayer. So like so instead of just saying, "Oh, you're moving up in Abstergo," no, you're literally moving up in Abstergo. So if you play multiplayer more, you can learn more about the story. You can learn more about what Templars are doing in the storyline. And actually,
one thing that's going to really keep me interested for Revelations is the fact not more Ezio's story, but more Desmond's. Huge spoiler alert right now. Huge spoiler alert. Please go frontwards in the video if you have not beat Brotherhood. Okay, at the end of Brotherhood...
Desmond is trapped in the Animus.
No. At the end of Brotherhood, Desmond kills the blonde girl, which I can't remember her name right now. Lucy. He kills Lucy. There are doubts whether or not she's actually dead, but he uses the hidden blade in her, sort of showing that he kills her. So how the story for Desmond is going to progress after that is going to be extremely interesting.
I can tell you how it's going to progress, Andre. Desmond in this game is trapped in his own mind. Desmond, you know the white room, they call it the white room. That's what they call it, the loading screen, where it's the shows the Animus and Desmond is trapped inside his own mind. Desmond is trapped inside his own mind, and in this game, he's going beyond the white room. He's basically in the behind the stage of the Animus, and they call it the black room.
And of course they're going to go...
They can't do an Assassin's Creed game.
Of course they're going to go more... They're going to go more in depth with like Subject 16 and how his story
and the bleeding effect. They said the bleeding effect will be discussed a lot.
But you can't have an Assassin's Creed game without really talking about Desmond, because Assassin's Creed.
Andre, they're not. Allow me to finish before. So basically, Desmond, and he's going to have to work out in his mind all this stuff. He's going to have to work out. He has to figure out how to get past these mental barriers. Basically, he's going to have to get through all these different trials to get out of the Animus. And they say this is actually going to be a more puzzle-like gameplay than what you see in Assassin's Creed, because in the Black Room, it's Desmond's own mind, and it's a weird mixture from what I've seen of like the backdrop is like what he's already seen. Like it has like Constantinople, Italy, the Middle East. And it has different spots like that, and you can design your own way to get to a goal. So Desmond can like form platforms that he can climb up and things that he can do. It's much more puzzle oriented, and of course, story wise in Revelations, Ezio's last game. They've established this. It's also going to be Altair's last-ish game. They're going to make mention to both characters, but this will be the last point that they are going to be. I think they said playable. Ezio is 50. A lot of time has passed. He is heading to Constantinople to see what Altair has learned, because as they hinted in Assassin's Creed 2, Altair has done a lot since what we saw him do in Assassin's Creed 1. And so meanwhile, it's like what Andre or Ron has said. It's like you're playing as Desmond, who is playing as Ezio, who's taking control of whatchamacallit. And it looks to be the setting point for Assassin's Creed 3, which is, of course, no problem with me because this is a very interesting trilogy.
But the only thing that Assassin's Creed that has going for it that's kind of the bad thing about it is the fact that Assassin's Creed is coming more like a Call of Duty thing, as in it's coming out at the same time every year, giving it less time to develop. Because this isn't Call of Duty. Call of Duty, you just refine the multiplayer and done. Assassin's Creed, you need a big story arc. You need to make the story, and not only that, you need to make it intertwine with Brotherhood and 2. You can't just make it a different thing.
Andre,
go ahead, Fuyo.
Allow me to explain. They've established, you have to say, the 1 year thing is crazy. But they said that basically this game was being developed in tandem-ish with Brotherhood. When they were finishing Brotherhood, they were working on this game. And they said that the next game will probably be 3, and they are not going to release that on a yearly schedule. That game is going to take a good 2 to 3 years, is what they said. They said they're not going to let the ending to their franchise come at a rush. So this is probably going to be the end of their yearly cycle. So we will better get used to not being spoiled yearly by Assassin's Creed goodness. Because we're not going to get it from here on.
Which actually is good, because the longer it takes, the better the game is going to be. Which didn't really work for Duke Nukem.
Typically. Unless it's Duke Nukem Forever. But that's a whole other story. Let's see. Mass Effect 3 has been announced. It was actually supposed to come out this November. Got moved over to Q1 of 2012. I believe that's good because already enough games for this November. I want to see the end to this. This is the finale they have established. This is the ending to the Mass Effect trilogy, not the Mass Effect or the Shepard trilogy. They're not going to say they'd be done with the universe because that's a very rich, very interesting universe. But they said this is going to be the end, and I imagine they plan to go out with a very large bang. And then next up, I believe Rage. Has anyone seen this? Developed by id Software, creators of games such as Doom, Quake.
Actually, no. No, I'm not.
No, I haven't seen it.
I've
heard about it.
Okay, if you guys have not seen this, it's like I'm talking to you and talking to the viewers. If you've not seen this, look this game up. It looks phenomenal. But beyond that, it's very interesting, very open world game, sort of Fallout E, Borderlands E, but it's still its own separate world. It's much more ambitious than anything else it has ever created. It's got card combat, it's got shooting gameplay, it's got different things. It's this really fleshed out world that they've shown, and it looks really good. Beyond that, and the interesting thing about this game to me, the game looks really good, it's gorgeous. But beyond that, they're dedicating a lot of the hardware to AI. This is the first game with progressive AI. The game will respond in tandem to you. So say you find a new weapon that the enemies do not know about, the enemies will respond differently. Say you go and you just use a gun on an enemy, and then you go into cover and you find a new gun and you pick it up, the enemy will respond as though you had the old weapon. Because technically, they don't know you picked up a new gun. So everything is based off, the enemies respond differently to what weapons to use. They see that you have a long-range crossbow, they're going to try to get up in your face. They see that you have a melee thing, they're going to try to retreat and throw stuff at you or shoot at you. They have the first thing where basically they have these enemies which are like acrobats, and most of the time with enemies like that they have certain things. No, this one they react differently to every environment. It's really impressive what they're doing with the AI in this game. That's probably the thing I'm actually most excited for this game. But beyond that, it just looks like I love dystopian worlds. I love Borderlands. I love Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Fallouts, and I can't wait to just get sucked in to this game. And then another one, Last Guardian.
Speaking of dystopias, that's a good segue. No, speaking of dystopias, BioShock Infinite.
Oh my god, I am so stoked for that
I can't
game.
skip over that.
I love the first game. BioShock. I love the second BioShock even more. I would go as far to say the second one is better than the first one. And
that's a good one.
BioShock Infinite, I think, is going to be really good because it's different. It's mysterious because it's not.
Well,
That's-
yeah, and especially since they're going back to the original BioShock 1 creators. There was a development change
And
between
Levine.
BioShock 1 and BioShock 2, and then they're reverting now in Infinite. They're reverting back to their original creators, so it's going to have that same like exciting, suspenseful touch that the first game had, and which is why I fell in love
I
with the
think
series in the
this
first
is-
place.
This is truly the most original game at E3 that I've seen. This is a game that, I mean, it has the BioShock name, but it may as well be an IP. It may as well be a whole new game franchise because they've overthrown everything. BioShock, he says, he wants that more to be like a Tom Clancy to a game. It does not have to be in the same universe, it doesn't have to be the same thing, but it just looks like everything is new. It's this weird world. It's like entering Rapture again, except Rapture's in the sky with racists and skyhooks. And I'm like,
It looks really good.
beautiful.
And BioShock
And,
already has Infinite has a big shoes to fill because BioShock and BioShock 2 are Game of the Year games. Like BioShock 1 I think won Game of the Year and BioShock 2 came close. So it has big shoes to fill.
If it came close.
What?
I think it came close for you. I think, Andre, I don't know why, I think you enjoyed that game a lot more than everyone else did. You're very special in that
No,
regard,
because
Andre.
I love BioShock 2. I love BioShock 2, but it didn't have the same magic that the first one had for
I
me.
think it
I mean,
had,
that's-
I think it had as much. Although I wouldn't go as far to say as it was a sequel to BioShock 1. It had Rapture, it had the Big Daddies, but it didn't feel like a sequel to, BioShock 2. I mean, BioShock 1.
Wasn't it scary? The fear
wasn't.
factor in the first game
The
is a big
Rapture-
part of
it
what
wasn't
See,
as scary,
Rapture-
but it wasn't as scary, but the gameplay was better. The story
I mean,
was
but
deeper,
Andre,
deeper.
but I understand that. I mean, I understand that the gameplay was better, but the big appeal of BioShock was that you're in this strange world where you have no
I think
idea
the
what's
story-
going
The
on.
story of BioShock 2 was way deeper than that of BioShock 1. BioShock 1's story was, the whole you and oh man, it's been so long since I played BioShock 1, I forgot the
Ryan.
name of the characters.
Andrew Ryan,
Not Andrew Ryan,
Atlas,
the guy
Andrew
who
Ryan,
yeah,
Atlas.
Atlas.
You
Fontaine.
doing what Atlas said, thinking that you were going to save his family, when then plot twists, Atlas is Fontaine and Andrew Ryan is the good guy, quote unquote
But
good guy.
but
The story
no, he
isn't
wasn't.
as
He was-
deep. The deepness of the story comes from the videotapes. I mean, from the audio tapes that you find along the way. BioShock 2,
See,
on
but
the
what
other
I'm saying
hand,
is,
BioShock 2, on the other hand, has that father-son thing between the Big Daddy and that little sister who grew up. So I think the fear factor was lost in BioShock 2, but the story was deeper, and much better.
I
elaborated.
mean, I didn't think. I'll be honest. I didn't think it was. I thought BioShock 1 had it down, but that's just me. But either way, BioShock Infinite entirely different from both those games. So maybe me and Audrey can both agree this one's going to be awesome
Exactly.
because it is.
Yes.
It's like BioShock 1
and
and BioShock
then-
2 put together to make one awesome game.
Actually, it's entirely different from both of those games, which is what's exciting
I'm
to
talking
me.
about me and you. I'm talking about for me and you, like the sentiment. As if BioShock 1,
Whatever.
which is your favorite, come together with BioShock 2, which is my favorite. Bam!
And I'll just make our new favorite. Well, it's like choosing a child. It's very hard, but gotta do it. Anyways, the other big game, Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim.
Oh.
This game, it looks so good. Oh my lord,
It looks- Yeah.
phenomenal. I'll be honest, this is probably close to game of the show for me. It's this
I
world
didn't
that
see much of Skyrim, so I'm gonna let you guys talk about this. While that, I'm going to get me a munchie.
I watched about the G4 had a big 40-minute demo of this game, and I loved every second of it. Everything is original. Everything is, I mean, it's the same ideas as Elder Scrolls 4, but it's refined. The gameplay, the dragons. This is the perfect example for this game. The dragons that they've made. Ryan, are you still there, or did you leave too?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I felt very scared and alone. The dragons are not coded. What that means is the dragons, they don't know when they're going to show up. They could show up at any point in time in the game. and they could have any different set of skill sets and whatever. So say like you just be going along, and it's very interesting. The AI is very. I love AI. I love the artificial intelligence of video games because I think that is where things will change. I think we'll reach a certain point graphically, but what's going to keep innovating is how the enemies respond to you. And this is one where it's just, I don't know, like it's much more easy to access than Elder Scrolls 4. Elder Scrolls 4 was a game which was pretty hardcore RPG if you didn't know what you were getting into. This one, much more ease of access, but it still has the depth that you need. And let's just be honest, it just looks cool. I mean, it just looks cool.
What about the new...
When does that game come out? Is that another November one?
That's
the
November.
one that's
it's 11,
like
11. 11, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to save some
so
money.
let's review. Let's review games that are coming out this November. Batman: Arkham Asylum, Dead Island, Uncharted 3, Elder Scrolls 4. I don't know what Rage is. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Battlefield 3. Anyone excited for that?
And Modern Warfare 3.
Me and Ryan already talked about that in a previous podcast, which I still have to upload. Damn.
Still.
Yes, you still need to upload that.
Still looking wonderful. I mean, there's just... I'm telling you, I mean, I was hoping that Skyrim would not be surrounded by games, but sadly enough, either I'm going to have to make all those other games wait or make Skyrim wait, because once I get Skyrim, I'm going to be playing that for hours, just hundreds of hours. No joke.
I'm just going to hopefully get my grades good enough prior to November, and then when November lets loose, I'm just saying, school, you are second place to this plethora of games I have.
Yes. Actually, and I believe right before we get finished, how about this? Game of the show. Just really fast. Just game of the show for you, or just a bit of the show for you. What was yours, Ryan?
Well, actually, just coincidentally, I've been trying 100% Brotherhood, like achievement rape it, and that's been really fun. So, namely, I'm really pumped for Revelations, but then I look at BioShock Infinite, and then I just, every time I see that game, I get goosebumps, and I'm so excited for what the future holds for that series. So I have to say BioShock.
Well, I can respect that.
We have a lot,
and you, Mr. Walrus?
We have a lot of good stuff coming for us. This is going to be a good year in
and
gaming.
Battlefield 3, but Battlefield 3 is another story. That's sort of a test for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
you, Mr. Walrus?
The thing I'm waiting for the most is without a doubt Batman Arkham City, because I loved Arkham Asylum so much. I'm waiting for Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 3, but the problem about that is a whole the fact that I probably won't be able to get those games because of my lack of Xbox Live. But that's another story that more for me. We also have Assassin's Creed.
You could get Battlefield 3 for Wii.
But the Wii is only going to be coming out like in 2013. So, yeah.
Yeah.
2012.
Isn't it? No, 2013.
Yeah.
2012.
I wouldn't be surprised if it got pushed 2013. Yeah. Anyways, for me, I guess it's between Elder Scrolls 5 and Rage. And they're both like my overworld babies, where I love both of them equally. But I'm going to have to choose Skyrim because it's just... mainly because I would trust the people at Bethesda implicitly. They've made Fallout 3 one of my favorite games of all time. Oblivion, one of my favorite games of all time. They have just not screwed up. And I definitely think they won't screw up with this game. I'm ready to be floored. So, I believe that brings us to the end of the E3. That was a long time, Pulse. But hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want to put your Game of the Year podcast, or Game of the Years below, not Game of the Year, Game of the Shows below. I know by the time this gets uploaded, it'll probably be old news, and all these games will probably already be out, but then you can tell us the Game of the Year. So, anyways, this is the Justice Friends Blogs. I'm wishing you all happy times and good hunting.
Good hunting.
Wink, kitty face.